Hey guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna give this stream a second for people to join it, but obviously based on the title, I'm pretty sure you know what's going on. But let me just share this, get a few people to join. Okay, so as many of you may have seen this morning, Tommy Robinson was arrested and then immediately after taken to court and sent to jail. And a lot of this information I received secondhand. Obviously, I'm banned from the UK because of its crazy authoritarian government, which has just been confirmed even further today. But a few people that were there gave me the details. I can't say who, because unfortunately there is also a reporting ban on this. If anyone talks about it, or even people retweet me, they could be arrested themselves if they talk about Tommy's situation and they were in the UK and certainly in that courtroom. But what happened essentially is Tommy went to go report on a rape gang case, and there was also a order of silence not to talk about it. Of course, I'm not a legal expert, so I'm just doing it in the most basic terms here. Tommy went there and he read out some reports that were already public, that were already in the paper, and then the police arrested him for disturbance of the peace. They took him to court, and then the judge sentenced him to jail for 13 months, over a year, because he talked about a rape gang case and gave information that was already publicly available. In fact, let's talk about this, because there are some people who are saying, this was legitimate. Here's, please be aware that there isn't a political conspiracy regarding Tommy's arrest. This is a tweet that I'm just reading from someone in the UK. He was imprisoned for contempt of court and for reporting on a case with reporting restrictions. Right, so within an hour, someone gets sent to jail for 13 months just because a case had reporting restrictions. And he also, what he was reading out about this case, it was already information from the Huddersfield Examiner, that was the biggest print newspaper in the area. It was already publicly available stuff, and no one at the Huddersfield Examiner was sent to prison for 13 months for talking about this case. This is clearly a political intimidation tactic. People pretending it's not, people pretending individuals just normally get taken to court and sent to jail for 13 months within an hour. It's absolute nonsensical. The British government want to crack down on any right-wing dissidents. And quite frankly, the scariest part of this, I had to calm down before doing this live stream, because I actually started crying when I heard that Tommy was being sent to jail, because this is a death sentence. I don't think people realize. They know for a fact, the British government that sent him to prison today, we're never going to hear from him for the next year, because he's had everything taken away, cell phones, all of that, can't talk to us. They know for a fact he's most likely going to die in prison. And they don't care if he dies. They want to intimidate all British citizens into silence and into agreeing with the left-wing orthodoxy. I want to, of course, a lot of you know that a lot of the prison system in the UK, it is a high Muslim population in there, and they hate Tommy Robinson. More than hate, people want him dead. He gets death threats all the time. He got beat up in prison all the time when he was in there before. And I just want to, if you don't know about this case, when was this? This was maybe a couple of years ago, but there was a man who had thrown a bacon sandwich outside a mosque, and he was put in prison. And throughout his 12-month sentence, they found him dead. He had been murdered in prison because he had thrown bacon at a mosque. This isn't just a conspiracy. I'm not making something up when I say Tommy will likely die in jail because of this. In fact, it was something that, and this, I'm getting this secondhand once again from someone who was there, was acknowledged in the courtroom today. It was brought up that if Tommy gets sent to jail, they are going to kill him in there. And apparently, of course, I'm taking the secondhand. Unfortunately, there's no freedom of press on this issue. But secondhand, apparently, the judge said he knew what he was getting himself into and basically acknowledged that he's going to die. The UK, they know what they are doing. This is a complete and utter crackdown on any right-wing dissidents. And the people who are pretending that this is anything other than political intimidation, It's just insane. They have obviously been looking for ages for any sort of loophole, anything to get Tommy on. Even his original sentence was ridiculous financial stuff that most people would not get caught for. Half the damn governments in the West are taking part in tax evasion and going about things the wrong way, and they aren't getting arrested because they have the right opinions. That is overlooked because they have the right opinions. Look at someone like Hillary Clinton, who's running for the president of the United States, who no one cares about, and she gets away with all of her crimes because that are much bigger crimes than public disturbance like Tommy, or reporting on something that we were supposed to be hush hush about. She gets away with all of her stuff because she has the right opinions. Of course, these are different governments, but my point stands that they have obviously had it out for Tommy. The police are always following him. They're always watching him. They're detaining people like Brittany Pettibone or Martin Sellner who want to go and meet with him and talk with him. They're banning people from the country who are friends with him. This was obviously a political intimidation tactic. And if Tommy dies in jail, I don't know. I'm trying to understand how to feel about this. I'm trying to not be crazy and radical about it. I'm trying to think about it logically, but I'm also living in this space right now where I was just in Austria with my friend Brittany Pettibone and Martin Sellner, and my friend Martin was taken away by the secret police while we were just sitting in a cafe. And the secret police came out and took all our stuff, searched the car, and he was taken in for questioning and has been going through a crazy legal case. My friends are being detained and arrested. My friends are essentially being potentially sentenced to death in the UK for their political opinions and for being anti-Islam. And it's at a point where what am I supposed to do? What can I do? What kind of clown hellish world am I living in where I never thought that it would get to this point. I never thought it would get to the point where I'm being banned from countries or my friends are being imprisoned for their opinions. Where do we go from here? It seems like the UK government it seems like they're a damn illegitimate government that they don't care. The UK people, they didn't vote to get rid of their free speech. In fact, they actively voted to get out of the European Union. They want away from all of these crazy socialist policies. They want away from all of this open borders nonsense. They want away from the crazy progressive SJW hellhole that the rest of Western Europe is becoming. And the government doesn't seem to care. They just want to silence all dissidents. They want to silence anyone that is actually trying to hold them to their promises and to the way that the people want to go. You guys in the UK, you didn't vote for this insane mass immigration of Islam. You never voted for that. That was completely illegitimate, the importation of these cultures that don't agree with you. You didn't vote to have your free speech taken away. You didn't vote to live in this insane world where you get arrested for butter knives and killed in jail for throwing bacon at mosques. At this point, what are the British citizens supposed to do? They are trying to have their voices heard. They are trying to speak up about their government's literal oppression of them. What a 1984 world we live in, when you can't even speak up about it. What are you supposed to do? And this is the scary part. This is the really scary part of it. I do not advocate political violence at all. I do not advocate anything like that. But when you don't even allow people to have a conversation, when you don't even allow people to speak about the problems that they're facing in their nation, that's when they feel they have nothing else they can do but lash out violently. That's what this causes. The UK needs to decide which way they are going to go. Are they going to keep going down this route of political prisoners, banning people, arresting people for their opinions, silencing anyone that disagrees with them, shutting down and anything that is slightly critical of this insane progressive agenda, and potentially have a crazy, horrific, violent future in either way, because there'll be a revolt or because they'll be taken over by a crazy, violent religion like radical Islam? Or will they go the way of actually having reasoned debate and discussion, which created the Western world and the many things that are still great about the UK today? Which way, UK? I don't know. Stop whining, Lauren. I'm sorry, but if your friend was sent to jail and could potentially die, I don't think it's too crazy to be upset about that. Terrible leg. I'm sorry about that. Comments are going a little too fast to read them all, but yeah, just needed to kind of get all of that out of my system. Maybe I'll read some of the chat comments here. The Freakzoids have taken over. Yes, they have. I'm hoping that in some crazy twist of fate, Tommy somehow gets out and is able to get rid of this crazy 13-month sentence. But right now, it looks like we are not going to be hearing from Tommy for over a year. It looks like we are going to be completely cut off from any news about him. People have even told me if they retweet me, they could be arrested just because they know Tommy or were in the courtroom. I'm just in complete awe of the whole situation. So we probably won't be hearing from Tommy for over a year. He wasn't really given an opportunity. He was taken straight there. It was like within an hour, and wasn't given an opportunity for legal representation to really fight back or have a chance to defend his position. What he did, it seems completely illegitimate what has happened to them. It seems like they're grasping at straws to send anyone to jail or to intimidate the British public into silence. But I guess on a positive note, they can't shut us all up. I mean, I'm across the water. I'm already banned from their country. There's plenty of Brits watching this stream. I'll continue to speak up for you guys. The rest of the Western world is speaking up for the UK, and our eyes are on you. And they can't arrest every single person, especially worldwide when we've got the internet. The internet can be our revolutionary platform for free speech, hopefully. But yeah, pray for Tommy. Try to get the word out there what's happened to him, since clearly the UK government do not want people to see what is going on. And don't give up, people in the UK. There have been darker days upon Europe that I'll see you next time. Thanks for letting me get that out of my system.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.